Um, Here today to obviously talk about our women's soccer program, who, with the win over Nebraska, secured a spot in the Big Ten tournament. We're certainly excited to be in postseason. I think we tell our team all the time, this isn't a goal, it's an expectation, and we haven't lived up to that expectation in the last couple of years. So we're really excited to be back where we want to be and back where we expect to be. I really like where this team is right now. Even the loss at Northwestern, if you look at this past weekend, I think you can see where our team is. This is a team that's attacking together. We've got 12 different goal scorers. I think we've got 6 people with 3 assists. 9 people have double-digit shots. This is a team that's kind of attacking together. They're also a problem-solving team. Northwestern and Nebraska probably play as different a style of game as you can possibly imagine. And for us to come off the loss, I think a tough loss at Northwestern, an unfortunate foul and a red card. We got to go to Nebraska, play on their home field without one of our regular starters, and play against a team that plays pretty unorthodox. And they stuck with the game plan and pulled out a win. But they also know how to fight. If you saw the Northwestern game, we're down 2 goals and down a player with about 30 minutes left, and save a defender saving one off the line and a block shot in the last couple of minutes, we could have tied that game. We came back, scored a goal, had a chance to score a second one, playing down a man. That's the kind of fight I think that this team has right now. And I think the other thing I have to say about this team, and I think even the media has noticed it, and people have asked me, your bench has more energy than I've ever seen. And I think it just goes to what this team is like off the field, and not just the 11 players on the field, but 31 players that are aligned to try to go after something. We've talked a little bit about this is we finished a job. We got ourselves into the postseason, and now this is a whole new task for us and something that we have to attack and go at it with the same attitude that we went at this regular season. So certainly excited to be in postseason. I'm sure the question, I think everybody can do the math. The bracket's not out yet because there's still a game to be played on Wednesday, but pretty much irrespective of that result, it looks like we'll be seeded 5th and headed to Wisconsin to play in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, and excited to do that. So certainly have open the floor for questions.
Okay, what's that mean to get in there, given where you guys have been the last 2 years?
Yeah, I'm really happy for this team, and especially our juniors and seniors, who I think have, at the beginning of the spring said, this is something that we want to change. This isn't Illinois soccer. This isn't what we expected, and this isn't what's expected of us. And so I think for them to accomplish that is certainly huge. But I think the next step is, this isn't the end. This is what they wanted to get to start the process that they wanted to be a part of for the last couple of years. So this is just a chance to get to the table. And now that they're at the table, got to start this job and finish this job as well.
You guys were picked preseason 12th. Is there a sense of, hey, we're proving these people wrong to finish this?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. I think it's I think we've really focused kind of on ourselves. We haven't really looked at rankings, haven't looked at a lot of things. I think the coaches, we probably look at RPI and things like that. But this team has really said, just go about and do our business and do the work every day. And, I think it's been more about them creating a belief in themselves than it is any external. And that's what I really like about this team right now, is they believe in themselves. Like I said, even down 2 goals and down a player, there was this sense of belief that we can make something happen. And that belief is really good to be carrying into the postseason right now.
Janet, what approach did you and your coaching staff take this year that was different, if at all? Or did you just see different results?
I'll be honest, we changed several things. We even so little as we changed our practice time. I think this past year we looked at it and said, I've been here a long time. We've done a lot of things the same way. What can we tweak? What can we do? What can we do in terms of making things better? So we tweaked some things that way. I think we also tweaked some things in terms of the way that we gave ownership to the team. This junior and senior class really took ownership of the locker room. They took ownership of the bench. They took ownership of their energy. And that happened starting, back in January. And I think that's made a huge difference on how we've been able, the Big Ten is tight. You can look at every game. You can look at the number of overtime games. And so when it comes to that, it really is the team that can stay together in those tight moments. And you don't create that in August. You really create that back in January. And this team has really forged this bond that has enabled them to handle those kind of pressure moments. I mean, Indiana and Purdue coming here, those two pressure wins, a pressure win at Nebraska, almost coming from behind down a man at Northwestern. Those are the kinds of moments that you need a team that's really bonded together to be able to handle those.
And now with the new pressure of the tournament, what message will you give your players about these kinds of matches, especially for the ones that haven't been in them?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. We kind of treated Nebraska. This is the start of our Big Ten tournament. We got to win to get to play again, and so it'll be the same thing as we step into this, one game at a time, one moment at a time, and let's continue this, this journey. But we've talked a lot about finishing the job, whether that's a game or a season. This is a whole new job. And we got to start this one the way that we started the season with, belief in ourselves. And then we got to try to finish every single job that happens. Each game now is a job in and of itself. And you got to start it and you got to finish it.
To have a rebound season like this, coupled along with immersion, now starting building, what's the state of this program and where is this going?
It's in a great state right now. Like you look at this season and, it's a great turnaround season. But we're 3 overtime losses away from it being a season that people are going, what the, that's, we're one of the teams in the bottom 4 that played all 4 teams in the top and lost to 3 of them in overtime. So we're inches away from having what would have been a phenomenal season. And I think that's the future of this program. And I think Demersion Park and all of the talk about that and what excellence means has affected this season and will continue to affect seasons, for a long time to come.
Anything different you see in Big Ten tournament matches or postseason matches, the way teams strategize or way coaches coach?
Well, one, you know a little bit more about each other. You've probably played each other, so you've it's one thing to watch on video and something else to step in and play against someone. So, you kind of have some more knowledge of teams. And it's and win in advance. So, there's certainly probably some strategies in terms of that. I think for us, we still have to go out and do the things that we do well. We have to play to our strengths, and we'll certainly go out and do that against Wisconsin. I think, we've got a team that can attack from a whole lot of different places, and we got to bring that on Sunday. It's a team that's good defensively, so we'll have to be our best offensively. But it's also a team that can be dangerous. If you look at the stats, this is a team that doesn't give up a lot of goals, and they've scored about the same number we have. So, it's going to be a really good battle, I think, in every, Big Ten game. And now you get into the tournament, and it's, I think the biggest difference is if it ends at a tie, we'll go to PKs at the end. So some of those ties will get decided one way or the other. Great. Thank you, guys.